Surprise! Yes, yes. I am going to do a trial 90-Day Fiance the other way, season 1. This is a trial basis. Now, like I said in my 90-Day Fiance before the 90 days, I caught some of it during the marathon, but not all of it. Honey, I was intrigued. I was intrigued with the participants. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have a good time with these. A real good time. So, several of you was like, you know what? Go ahead and review it. Okay? So, I know the majority of you that are watching this have already seen the season. Okay, so, I'm going to put up the first 2 episodes. And if the views are there and the likes are there, y'all know I don't be asking like that. So, if they are there, then I will continue with the series. But honey, if they're not there, honey, I will continue the series on my own. That's what I'm going to do. So, if you want me to continue, the ball is in your court. So, go ahead and tell everybody you love, your mama, your daddy, your dog, your cat, your great aunt, your great uncle, your cousins, your tell them all. Okay? So, in order for me to continue, it's on y'all, child. Because I will continue it alone. It was pretty good. Okay, so let's talk about these participants. Alright. Let's start off with Paul and Corinne. Now Paul, he is 35 years old and he lives in Kentucky. Now Corinne, I believe she's in her 20s, 27, 28, and she lives in Brazil. Okay. And everything worked out. You know, they found love on a dating app. And so Paul took it upon himself to go over there and spend some time with Corinne in Brazil. Now let me tell you something. Alright? Brazil look a hot mess. Honey, did y'all see those pigs? Honey, just pigs running around, poop in the water. He had to make him a little penis protector so nothing won't climb up his little penis. Okay. So everything was going good until Paul had to tell Corinne about his past. Yes, y'all. Paul has a past. Paul has a criminal history. Now, I know I'm calling him Paul now, but that ain't gonna last. I'm gonna start calling him Fire Starter because he done burnt some down. He got charged with arson. Fire Starter, what you burned down, child, over there in the deep of the woods, thick of the sticks, Kentucky? What you burning down? Child, Lord. And to top that, not only does he like to burn things down, his ex-girlfriend took out a restraining order on him. Don't you come nowhere near me. 250 feet. Don't call me, don't text me, nothing. You're out of here. So, he's a fire starter, and his ex-girlfriend took out a restraining order. So he had to break all this to Corinne. So he tells Corinne, he gets upset, he starts running into the woods, and Corinne says, you see where I live, don't you? Don't you see them pigs? Honey, I don't care if you burnt down a house with people in it. It's all good. So things start going well. Okay, things start going well. They started going so well that he married her in Brazil. Okay, lovey-lovey, kissy-kissy, huggy-huggy. But guess what, y'all? His jealous side started to peek through. Okay, on social media, she was putting little lovey faces, emojis all over this dude's, Instagram, Facebook, I don't know what it was. So he questions her about it. So, of course, she gets upset because she was like, listen, you don't trust me, it's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. They get into a huge fight. She wants a divorce. She's telling him to get the F out. And so he was like, hey, she want me gone? I'll take my feet to the street. I go back home to Kentucky to burn something else down. I can go back home to Kentucky and play with matches. See, that's what I could do. But see, there's a little bump in the story, y'all. She had a bump. She found out she was pregnant, child. Okay, so she found out she was pregnant. She didn't want to be a single mother. I mean, they are married. So she decided to give him another chance. Everything was going good, but then tragedy comes. And she had a miscarriage. Honey, he says it messed him up. 5-star said it messed him up. Now, since he didn't have no matches over in Brazil, he was thinking about putting 2 rocks together and scrape them together and burn up one of them pigs. That's what he wanted to do. But he didn't. He restrained himself. God, that bugging me out. So anyway, they had a, tragic, miscarriage. They didn't have any money, so he had to go back to the United States, work at some cow pasture, getting up cow poop, odd jobs here, because who's going to hire somebody who like to burn things down? Who? Who? So he ain't making, that kind of money. So a month later, when he was back home, she was like, guess what? I'm pregnant. But he was like, oh, okay, that's great, but you know what? I'm going to need a DNA. That's what I'm going to need. So he is asking this girl for a DNA. Okay? So, anyway, life is going on. Okay? So he is ready to pack up everything and move to Brazil. Criminal history and all, child. Okay, so, of course, he has to get himself together financially, all right? But see, he needs help. This is where this mama come in. So they go and they talk to a financial advisor, an attorney, or somebody, okay? So he will prefer Kareem come over, to the United States, but hey, it may not happen, okay? So here he is up there talking, and honey, they said that you have to make a certain amount of money, like $26,000 a year. Well, he's just picking up cow dung. Okay, so he ain't even making $26,000 a year. He is 35 years old, and he's not making $26,000 a year in Kentucky. Well, okay. All right, 5-star. So his mama sitting there, he's looking at his mama, and he was like, I'm going to need a co-sponsor. Now, see, a co-sponsor is just a technical term for, I need for you to help me. You need to take care of me, my wife, and your grandchild. And so mama said, nope. Okay, we going through hardships. I can't be co-sponsoring this foolishness. The answer is no. Okay, so of course he feels some type of way about it. 35-year-old 5-star Paul. So they're in the car and he was like, I just cannot believe you're not going to co-sponsor me. Okay, I have a wife. You're going to have a grandchild. He trying to use the guilt trip on his mama. Honey, his mama said, I'm not co-sponsoring nobody. And plus, I'm already technically co-sponsoring you. Okay, see, I'm already taking care of you. You got a roof over your head. I'm feeding you. I'm clothing you. Okay, it's a lot. And we don't have the money. Okay, you chose this. You chose to fall in love with some girl in Brazil. You chose to go over there and get married, get her pregnant, moving all types of fast. And look what happened. No, I ain't giving you nothing. I ain't giving you no sponsorship. And I ain't giving you no money. So he sits over there and he pouts. And he is literally upset with his mother. I don't blame her one bit. So it's time. It's time for him to go to Brazil. I mean, permanently. Okay? He ain't coming back. And see, he was like, I'm leaving permanently. I'm not coming back. You do realize that. That's what he was telling his mom. His mom was like, oh, well, you're not going to guilt trip me. So he's checking in with Kareem. And she's doing well with her pregnancy. I think she's 27 weeks. Everything is going great. Okay, so he done packed up everything in his life. He got 5 pieces of luggage. There's baby beds. There's baby clothes. I mean, everything. Because, see, in Brazil, they don't have nothing. See, they're not financially ready. They don't have anything for this baby. So it all depends on, the 5-star to bring all that stuff to Brazil. So he gets to the airport and they said, I'm sorry, you cannot bring 5 bags. Okay, there is a limit. There's 2 bags. That's it. He was like, excuse me, I've done been to Brazil before and I had 5 bags. So what is the problem now? And they was like, well, things have changed. Okay. Now in 30 days, if you was to come back, it's all good. But right here, right now, you can only take 2 bags. Now he got 5. And so he called a supervisor to see if he could change the ticket, if they could waive it. I mean, all this. Basically, they said hell to the no. Okay? Either shove everything you need in those 2 bags or you're not going. So he throws a temper tantrum. His mom is trying to get him to understand that there may be another way. Of course, she says that his circuits, they ain't running real right when he's all, spastic and stuff. Okay? So he was like, Mom, stop it. Let me think. Okay, so then his mom was like, listen, can you just put things in 2 bags? And he was like, listen, there's baby bags, there's clothes, there's all this baby stuff. It is not going to fit in 2 bags. He was like, forget it. He said, I'm not going. And so she was like, listen, just calm down. Let's think about this. And he said, I'm not going. He said, I'm not going, Mom. So here they are, piling all that stuff inside of that vehicle. And he's upset, and he's fussing, and he's taking his anger out on his mother. And they're on their way home. But of course, somehow, some way, he will end up in Brazil. Honey, I tell you, that 5-star, honey, he's going to be something this season. I can't wait to keep talking about this one. Let's move on. Now, since we're already talking about felons, let's keep the ball rolling. And then let's talk about Tiffany and Ronald, child. Tiffany, I think she's from Maryland. Okay, I think she's in her 20s, 28. And her love is Ronald. He lived in South Africa. Okay, and that's how they met. Okay, they met in South Africa. All right, he was good looking. She liked what she seen. He liked what he seen, and they spent hours, talking to each other and get to know each other. And she said that she has never met anyone like Ronald. Nothing like him, honey. She was intrigued and she fell in love immediately. So she comes back home. 6 months later, she goes back and he proposes to her. They are engaged and they plan on getting married in South Africa. Okay? She also has a son. I believe he's 8 years old. Now, there's one thing about Tiffany that I need y'all to help me with. Tiffany says that she did not know that she was having her baby Daniel until 15 minutes when he came. She said that she went the whole 9 months of her pregnancy. No morning sickness, no kicking, no cravings, no cramping, nothing. She even said she still had her periods. So she didn't think that she was pregnant. I guess that little weight gain was, little extra pasta or tacos or chicken. Honey, she just thought it was gas. She didn't realize she had a whole human in her body. This is my thing. You went 9 months and you didn't realize you was pregnant. You mean to tell me you didn't go to no doctor's visit, no checkup, no prenatal vitamins? You just went your whole 9 months just living life. Oh, okay. And she was 17 years old. So she said one night she felt some cramping. 15 minutes later, right there's her baby Daniel. Everybody was shocked. Now, I'm going to need for y'all to tell me, do y'all believe his story? We move on. So, it's time for her to go to South Africa. Okay, this is where she wants to be with Ronald. This is where she wants to, begin her life with her son. Okay, again, her son has not met Ronald, and this is the first time for everything. Okay, and then her family's just gonna have to deal with it. She lives with her mom. Her mom looks very good for her age. I thought her mom was her sister. Her mom is very pretty. Her mom has a 3-year-old. But anyway. So she's like, her mom, of course, is concerned, and, here we go. The family and friends concerned. You're making a big decision. You sure you're making the right decision? Same script. So, there's one little thing about Ronald that she's keeping from her family. That she's marrying him. Honey, Ronald is a whole mess himself. Ronald says himself that, hey, I had a little gambling problem. Okay, it got so bad that the more I spent, the more I lost. So, I had to get money from somewhere. So I started taking things from my mama's house. Honey, one day his mama came home and the house was empty. That boy done took the stove, the couch, the refrigerator, the spoon, the bed, the mattress. Honey, he done wiped her clean. And she said, not today. So she charged him with burglary. Okay, so he got charged with burglary, gambling, I think a DUI. And so he was like, listen, I'm tired of this. I am rock bottom. So he went to rehab. He checked himself into rehab. He found the Lord, and it is a Christian-based rehab, and he is doing fine right now. I think he's been sober now, or he's been in the rehab now, I believe, 6 months. So he's doing good. He cannot wait for his boo and her son to come over there to South Africa. Now, Tiffany, she finally decides to tell her family about Ronald and his past. And of course, her mom and sister is looking at her like she got 2 heads. And they're like, you got to be kidding me. You're about to uproot your whole life and your child, okay, and go over to South Africa with a man who has a criminal background? You can find that here. That's all I'm saying. Okay, she can find that here. She ain't got to go across the world for the foolishness. And you taking your son? Honey, she's up in there trying on wedding dresses, and she's in love and this and that, and child, bye. So she goes and she talks to an immigration lawyer. And the immigration lawyer is looking at her and saying, let me tell you something. Don't be coming up in here trying to ease on out the way. You're leaving out some valuable information. So she's telling him about how she's going to go to Russia to South Africa, and how she done met this man and all this stuff. Because, see, he can't come over to the United States. That's just point blank. He has a criminal history, okay? And so the immigration lawyer is like, okay, well, what's his history? She was like, gambling. And he was like, okay, what else? He may have had some drugs. And so the lawyer was like, what type of drugs? She was like, I don't know about that. I don't know about what type of drugs. Say drugs. And so he was like, okay, what else? And then she says, possibly armed robbery, burglary, and well, let me add in that he done stole some money. He a thief. And then let me tell you something. These are serious charges. Armed robbery, larceny, a thief, drugs. Oh no, he ain't coming over here to the United States. See, we got that here. So there is a good chance that he may not come over here. Okay? Look at that history. Look at his felonies. Okay? And then she tried to smooth it over and she says, well, they were all dismissed. Honey, the immigration law was like, and he was still charged. Okay, we don't want that over here, girl. You might as well go somewhere and sit down, okay? Now, I'm telling you, he ain't the one. All right, he's a criminal. Okay, he may be good now. He may be in rehab now. But we looking at the past, not the future. Okay, so of course she's upset and she's distraught because that's not the news that she wanted to hear. There is a chance that he may not, get a visa or anything, and he can't come over to the United States. Honey, child, Tiffany, if you don't sit down somewhere. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about Jenny and Cement. Jenny is 60 years old. 60 years old. She has 3 daughters and 4 grandchildren. And she met Cement on Facebook. She fell in love, child. She fell in love. Okay. Now, Cement, of course, he put up this picture of this good-looking guy, apparently from England, named Michael Jones. Was that his name, y'all? Michael Jones or Michael Smith? It was a made-up name and a made-up picture. Okay. So she got catfished. Now, 4 months into a relationship, Cement started feeling bad. Okay. And so he, told the truth and said, listen, this ain't me. Okay, I don't look like this, or I ain't from England. I catfished you, but I love you. Now, if that wasn't a red flag to Jenny, she was like, I don't care. He told me the truth, and I done fell in love with this man. So he showed a real picture of himself, and he's from India. And she didn't care. She said that he was adorable. Okay? He works in a call center. He speaks to, Americans, and so they want to give you an American name, and so he come up with Michael Jones or Michael Smith. Somebody gave him that name. Okay, of course, he is Indian, and he lives with his mama, his daddy, the dog, the cat, the sister, the great cousins, the great uncle, honey. Everybody in the family live with him, or he lived with them, okay? Now, he's 30. She's 60. Now, she went over there and visited him, and honey, his family is not down with it. It come to the point that the mama said, listen, the neighbors are nosy. Don't you tell them, or don't you be showing her off up in our house. She got to go. First of all, she's 60 years old. She's damn near almost dead, okay? Let me stop. She ain't brown like us, okay? She's supposed to be younger than you, and they believe in arranged marriages. And you gonna bring this 85-year-old woman up in our house looking foolish? Oh no, she got to go. In fact, Sumit said that his mama told him to tell her to get out. See, that's what you do. Get her out. In that order, okay? I don't know what kind of games you playing. That we done raised you a certain way and you done brought this white woman on up in here. I think not. She older than me. Come to find out that Jeannie is older than his mama. Sumit said he didn't care. Okay. Sumit said that he loves Jeannie. And Jeannie loves him. Okay. Now Jeannie, she's talking to her daughter. She's packing up everything that she has because she's moving to India permanently. Okay, she ain't coming back. She done quit her job, all this stuff. She done pulled out all her savings, so she goes to a financial advisor. And the financial advisor was like, excuse me, what? And she was like, yes, I'm moving to India. I'm going to marry this man that I met in India, and I'm going to stay there for the rest of my life. Now, how much money do I need? Honey, he looked at her, and he seen that she only had $6,000, and then she had her little puny 401k, and he said, look, this ain't going to last you. This may last you 9 months, if that. Okay, you need to come up with a better plan. You need to hurry up and get your little visa so you can hurry up and get you a job. Because, honey, this little money that you have is not going to last. Okay, and so she's sitting there shocked by this. And then she brought up her Social Security. Now, see, she's 60 years old. She will be eligible to get her Social Security at 65. And here she is going over to India and just dropping everything. People work for their Social Security. If you're privileged enough to even work that long, to live that long, to get your Social Security, and she's ready to just drop it, just for cement in India. Okay, she was like, well, I can still get my Social Security deposited into my account, right? And he said, no. He said, you will no longer be a United States citizen. They're not going to keep giving you money, gal. And he said, you really need to think about that. That is going to be a hard hit. That is a hard pill to swallow. You have been working for 110 years. And now, in 5 years, you are willing just to throw that away? Just to go to India with the little bit of pocket change that you have? Girl, you need to think about this. But Jenny, she's in love, and she ain't thinking about that. Everything's going to be all right. So, we have Sumit, he is there. He meeting up with his 2 homeboys. And so his homeboys was like, what's up? And so he says, listen, Jeannie's coming over here. I'm going to marry her. She's going to move over here permanently. Honey, his homeboy said, Jeannie? Which one was Jeannie? Jeannie, that old white woman. That every time she got up, her bones snapped. That Jeannie, is that the one? They said, oh no. They said, have you told your family? And he was like, no, I didn't tell my family. Y'all know they won't be down with it. And they were like, no. Your parents is going to be upset. Listen, here in India, they want you to marry their kind, brown people. Okay? Someone younger than you. She said she's 85 years old. And the arranged marriage. But see, He don't care about all that. He loves Jenny. Everything is going to work out just fine. Honey, their friends cracked me up. They was looking at him like, now I know you're about to get beat. Honey, your mama gonna go upside her head. Now your mama done ran her out of there. She embarrassed by her, done told the neighbors, didn't want the neighbors to see her. And then you talk about marrying her? I know they gonna be a whole mess. A whole mess. Let's move on. Talk about Evelyn and Corey. Evelyn, she lives in Ecuador. Corey, he lives in Washington State. All right, Corey, he met her while he was backpacking through Peru, and then they made a stop at Ecuador. He seen her. He said that she was beautiful, and they got together, child. They got together, honey. So, they fell in love, and so she got her a travel visa. She's been over to Washington for 6 months. She's been living around for 6 months, and she don't like it. She cannot wait to go back to her house, okay? Now, he's a Mormon, all right? He lives on this compound with his mama, his daddy, his brothers, his sisters, his great uncle, his great cousin, his grandparents, dog, cat, rat. I mean, everybody live on this compound, okay? So, he says that he loves, you know, what's her name? He loves Evelyn. Did I call her name right, y'all? Evelyn? Anyway, he loves Evelyn. Evelyn so-called loves him. And honey, he done spent $30,000 on her. Now, he's done sent money back for her family, to open up some type of business. He got her a car. I mean, all this stuff. Now, while she's over in the United States, they're at a store. And honey, she grabbing everything underneath the sun for herself, her mama, her grandma, her nieces, her cousins. Honey, she's shopping for everybody. All kinds of clothes, but it's okay. They were on clearance. It came out to $780. Just like that. But he's willing to pay for it because he loves her. This is the woman that he wants to spend the rest of his life with. He is willing to sell everything underneath the sun. Car, clothes, dishwasher. I mean, he's willing to sell everything just to have enough money to go over to Ecuador. Okay? I'm just shocked by this. He's done went through his whole savings just to have enough money to go over to Ecuador. And let's not talk about the $30,000 he's already spent. Again, he's Mormon, and he has to break it to his family. He has to break it to the family, say, listen, okay, I've done met Evelyn. Evelyn's been over here for 6 months. Her visa's running out, and she's going back to Ecuador. She is not willing to live here in the United States. And honey, Evelyn said, listen, I'm not living over here, okay? My family's over there. My home's over there. That's what I like. Okay, now a whole lot of, you know, women where I live, South American women, would be willing to come over here to the United States. But see, not me, I'm different. Okay, in order for you to stay with me, you got to go to my country. It ain't going to be the other way around. And honey, Corey said, all right, I guess I got to do what I got to do. So he breaks it to his parents. And of course, Evelyn, she ain't trying to hear nothing. She ain't trying to stay in the United States. And she sure enough ain't trying to be Mormon. Absolutely not. So anyway, it is time for her to go back home. And she was like, I cannot believe you are sending me back home with no money. So he was like, I got you. So he took out $500. $500, honey. Gave her $500. He said, listen, that's all I had. And she was like, thank you. He says, listen, I know people are saying that, you know, she is using me for my money. That she's using me. He said, but that's not the case at all. I know that she loves me. This is going to be an interesting couple for me. Very interesting, these two. Alright, guys, that's it. That is it. Alright, now, in order for me to do this, no spoilers down below. I'm going to review it as I usually do. When I watch it, I review what I know. Again, I don't know nothing about these people. I don't follow their social medias. I don't look at blog. I don't look at that. I only review what I see. So, no spoilers. Okay, I know y'all done seen. I know y'all gonna be tempted, but that's it on that. Okay, so, again, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what y'all think. Am I just going to do this for 2 episodes or I'm going to do it for 17? It's y'all's decision. Alright guys, until next time. Bye!